Hi guys, I'm Shmi and today kicks off the first of 3 Esso Synergy tours I'm going to be driving around the United Kingdom. This first tour, we're getting underway in Edinburgh, in Scotland, and it's going to be themed 007 Lived Here. It's all about James Bond. So today we're going to be visiting Sean Connery's school where he used to deliver milk to. We're going to be going to the Bowness Motor Museum where they have a number of the James Bond cars from the movies. And then later on through the tour, we're also going to be going to loads of the scenes and famous sort of sets from the movie around Scotland. So we've got a pretty good drive, and we've got none other than an Aston Martin to be driving it in. So parked here at the first Esso Synergy fuel stop. Esso have recently rebranded their fuel stations with more lighting and new design, hence the new Synergy brand that's been launched. And the launch party I attended a month ago, where I even got to interview Jensen Button, so that was pretty cool. But we're going to be driving in this car, the Aston Martin V12 Vantage S. And we'll just hop in the car, we filled it up, we'll get on the road, and the first stop, I'll go over the car, tell you a little bit more about it before we get to where we're going to be going first. Our first location of the day, and this is James Bond's school. I'm going to get onto that a little bit more further on, but first, let's take a proper look around this car, the car that we've chosen to use for the first of these tours. Now, given the theme being James Bond, it only made sense to use an Aston Martin. Aston Martins have featured in 6 different Aston Martins have been used in the James Bond movies, and of course, in the latest movie, Spectre, Bond himself is driving in the new DB10, a car that I filmed with recently, a special car that was created just for the movie. So we've chosen to be driving in the V12 Vantage S. This is the latest and sort of final version of the Vantage platform with the 6-litre V12 engine that we've all come to know and love, especially the sound that it makes. 565 brake horsepower, top speed 205 miles per hour, 0 to 62, 100 kilometers per hour is 3.9 seconds, 3.7 to 60. And this particular car in the Madagascar orange looks amazing out in the sunlight. The colour changes so much from day to night time. And this has a beautiful spec, lots of carbon fibre, so the V12's Vantage's signature engine bonnet sort of louvres for the cooling. We've got a carbon fibre grille around the front, the new shape grille that was introduced for the Vantage S, well the V12 Vantage S, for extra cooling to cover that extra power. Carbon splitter. We've got carbon everywhere, carbon mirrors, the carbon side piece here. We've got the stealth sort of black coloured wheels. It's a very, very nice looking car. And wait until you hear the sound, it's just insane, this car. They sort of tone the noise from the normal V12 Vantage, which was of course a manual only car, to the S, to make it a little bit quieter in normal mode, but a little bit louder in sport mode, so you get a good sound out of those black finished exhaust tips. But let's take a look inside. We've got the Aston Martin crystal sort of finished key. It's a beautiful, beautiful item. Unlock the car. Then we have the door handles, again carbon fibre, pull out this way, and the swan doors that open slightly upwards, which is always such a nice sort of finish, and it means when you close them actually, they just sort of gently glide down, which is quite cool. I've always liked that about Aston Martins. Then on the inside, we've also got a very, very nice quality of interior. Black leather with the orange sort of contrast line down the centre. Also some orange here carrying through on the paddles. We'll just sit in just for a second. On the dashboard, you've got Aston Martin's sort of signature inverse rev counter that goes the other way. And for the V12S, you've got the new waterfall style centre console. Very much in line with the Vanquish. And I think that looks quite nice, all the sort of touch-sensitive buttons that sort of offer you some feedback when you press them as well, which is all very nice. Plenty of storage, good road tripping car. We've got the the back parcel shelf area available here, and there's a decent boot around back as well. We've got things like the Bang & Olufsen hi-fi system that all just add through and make it a pretty good car to use for this kind of purpose. But one of the best things I think about this car is the noise it makes. So I'm going to fire this up. It's warm because we've already been driving, and let you hear the beast that is within. To do that, you insert the key into the heart here. Pop it in sport mode to open the valve. And check this out. We're just taking a look then at Fetters College very quickly, because this is the school that in You Only Live Twice, Ian Fleming wrote that James Bond attended. And not only that, it is a spectacularly beautiful building, as we can see from the outside. We just stopped to take a photo because it's truly, truly special. Absolutely lovely looking place. And by complete coincidence, actually, Sean Connery, probably one of the most famous James Bonds, born in Edinburgh, a Scotsman of course. When he was young, like I said earlier, he used to deliver the milk here. One of his first jobs, so he was delivering milk to Fetters College. What a special building. Very, very beautiful. Aston feels right at home parked outside here. But we're gonna, I think, head straight back out and hit the roads towards our next stop, which is going to be the Bowness Motor Museum, which is a location where there are a number of James Bond highlights. Bowness Motor Museum. Come over and have a look. Second stop of the day then, and we're at the Bowness Motor Museum. But the first bit of driving down with the V12 Vantage S, and it's running on P0 coursers, which of course need a lot of temperature. They're very sticky when you do get them to that though. And in today's weather we're having no problems, and the car sounds absolutely glorious. But more on that in due course. For the moment, let's head inside the museum. Let's take a look around, and things started as a motor museum, but there is now a lot of James Bond memorabilia here, from the cars that we will get to in a second, but we've also got lots of other things like some of the props, Die Another Day piece here, we've got the gun here from License to Kill, and then here, the Esprit S1, which is one of the cars that was used originally in The Spy Who Loved Me, one of the road-going cars. Which is very nice. Then here we've got the DBS, the older DBS of course, most people watching might be familiar with the new model car. The car featured in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, not this exact one, but this has been used in promotional material connected to the movie since. We've got things like the Tomorrow Never Dies rocket launcher right here, which is quite a crazy piece of movie prop. We've got the only right-hand drive BMW 750 that was used in Tomorrow Never Dies. This was a static car used for photos and positioning and lining things up. Aston Martin DB6. Now, the DB6 is not a car that's actually ever featured in the Bond film. Of course, the DB5 is the most famous, but this DB6 has been used for various things like the 40th anniversary of Goldfinger and all sorts of different things connected to the Bond movies along the way. Now this one, the Sunbeam Alpine. This was technically Mr. James Bond's first car, the first Bond car. Not this exact one, because the first one has actually no longer been kept track of, so nobody knows where it is, but this one was finished in the same spec. So that was James Bond's first car. Keep coming through. Vanquish, considered by many to be the last of the proper Astons, although with the V12S outside I tend to disagree, but V12 power, very iconic Bond car of course, and one of the last Aston Martin to have been built at the old Newport Pagnell factory. Behind that we've got a yellow Mini Moke. Yellow Mokes have appeared in numerous Bond films actually. So there's one of them tucked in here. We keep coming round. Amusingly, a couple of Esso signs up there on the wall. Oh, and check this out. There's a tiny Esso service station. That's very different to how the Synergy ones look now that we were at this morning. That's quite cool. We've got a DMC DeLorean, Back to the Future. Crazy thing about Back to the Future actually is just a week or so ago was the date that they went forward to in the movie. So that's now happened and been passed, and that was quite a big thing. I'm sure some of you knew about that. And there's just a lot more stuff, lots of memorabilia in here to take a look at. Just keep walking a little bit further around, see what we can see. And just lots and lots of cool car stuff tucked in to the Motor Museum. More memorabilia up here. We've even got the police box from Doctor Who. There's a McLaren Formula 1 car, remote control car here. That's capable of 60 miles per hour. But this is sort of movie buff, James Bond buff dreamland right here. Looking down from up here on the Sunbeam Alpine from Dr. No. Very, very cool place. Driving back towards Edinburgh, a little bit of motorway stint, and this car is pretty comfortable and chilled. You have the 7-speed gearbox, so pop it in 7th and away you go. You've got the sport button here, which makes quite a big difference actually to the sounds and acoustics of the car, putting it into the different modes. I'm certainly liking it in sport because then you get the full sort of V12 noise going on. But obviously this is kind of a GT car. It's very comfortable, very nice place to be. We're going to be doing some proper mileage tomorrow and experiencing it properly. Go down through some gears. Let's get... There we go. Sounds nice. I think it's one of the things though with this car, having that semi-automated gearbox rather than the sort of double clutches that you tend to get now, does make it feel a little bit previous generation, but that's where the next sort of gen of Astons is going to be very exciting, seeing what they do. But this might be the last of the V12s. Steering is very nice, because it's still the sort of hydraulic, accurate feel. There's no sort of digital, electronic wizardry at work, so that's pretty nice. I'm looking forward to driving it further and having more sorts of thoughts and opinions to give you, but for this kind of drive, this is a very, very stylish car to be doing it in. And we're just making our way now back towards Edinburgh. In our mini tour around Edinburgh, this place is actually called Hill End. It's the largest dry ski slope in England. And I actually used to come up here back in my university days and come up for the inter-university dry ski slope competitions that were here. So there's a complete coincidence we're driving by right now, that's quite cool. And as it happens, look, there's an Esso Synergy station right there. That's quite fun, but we don't need any fuel yet. We haven't finished this tank. That's quite cool actually, going past Hill End. Reminds me of the old days when I used to come to Edinburgh. It's fun being back up here for something car related though this time round. The day comes to an end then, and we're back at our hotel in Edinburgh, where the car parked here in the garage under the bright lights just looks awesome. I love the way the Madagascar orange sort of changes colours so much depending what light is on it. But of course today we visited James Bond's school and then headed to the Bowness Motor Museum and had a look at some pretty cool Bond memorabilia there as well. But that's going to be it, wrapping up for today. Tomorrow we're going to be on the road heading north towards Inverness and some pretty cool places, some sights and locations from Skyfall amongst others. So we'll also be getting the opportunity to drive this car on some proper roads, and I can't wait to test that out too. But it's been a great day getting things started here in Edinburgh. That's it for now though. Make sure you stay tuned, check out tomorrow's video when we're back on the road. I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers. Hi Nick, how are you?
Hello, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Hi, nice to see you.
Pretty excited about today.
I can see the car over there. Let's go straight inside.